me, Sizad, who is the CPO of Gravit, and we have the CEO of Gravit, Alex, in the chat list answering all questions you have. We also have Ava, the marketing manager of Gravit. Our goal today is to get to know the user better and to have some questions answered. Furthermore, we want just a brief overview of what Gravit is and how you can use it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat and we will answer go along. For Gravit. Gravit is a software that came up from the minds of Alexander, and it's been going fairly well. It started off as a software that you have to download, or if you wanted, you could even get an extension for Chrome. Over the years, over the few months, we changed it to a web-based application. We went that route because we felt that the web is actually lacking something. So we created Gravit version 2. And Gravit version 2, within a few months, became a hit. And we've been improving it ever since, thanks to the help of wonderful users like yourselves. Today, we have over 60,000 users registered on Gravit and more joining every day. As you see when you go into Gravit and you go into the Discover sections and a few other sections, you will see more and more users adding more content. This includes the marketplace and the public design platform. Now, many people think that Gravit was a software designed to compete against big names like Adobe Photoshop or against Sketch. But in reality, it's just a software that's created to give everyone, not just professionals, a chance to design. And we ourselves use it on a daily basis. And to be honest, not all of us are professionals. Not all of us know the ins and outs of every design software. So we depend on people like you to help us out to make the software even better. Since Gravit is one of the very first of its kind, we're still trying different things out. And we do make some mistakes, and we depend on users like you to provide feedback on those mistakes and tell us how we can improve on the product. Now, Gravit, as we said, is not a software made for professionals. It's a software that's kind of in a transition zone. It's not as basic as, say, Paint, for example, or it's not as professional as say, Photoshop. It's not that heavy. It doesn't have any video recording tools that Photoshop has now. And it lacks a few things that Photoshop does. But that doesn't mean you can't do a lot. What you can do with Photoshop, Fireworks, Illustrator, or even Sketch in Gravit. And we'll go over a few things today once we go into the tutorial portion of it. We created Gravit just so that everybody could design. We have people that are small business owners, and we have folks that are students. We have users that have been using softwares like Fireworks for years, and they're switching over to Gravit because they find how easy it is to use and that they could get help, or if we're missing a feature, they could easily request it, and the Gravit team works to make it possible. And as you've already experienced, Gravit is a free software that's available on the web, and our goal is to keep it free for as long as we can. Eventually, we will release a premium package, but that's further down the line. For now, everything you see in Gravit is completely free, including a lot of the marketplace items that we're adding now. So, as I said, if you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to ask in the comment section, and Alex or Ava will do their best to answer them. If any of your friends did miss this presentation, we will put it up on YouTube, and we'll share the link to everyone who was in attendance today. So to start off, I just want to go over what the Gravit software is, and how you could do several of the basic techniques of using software. To start, you have your front-end platform, which is where you go to manage all of your designs, to discover new designs, to view content from the marketplace. You also have access to Connect and Magazine. Our goal with the magazine is to teach you how to use not just Gravit, but also how to design in general. And we will post more and more tutorials, more articles, and more videos later down the road. Connect is your way to get in touch with the staff. We know that there are several bugs out there, and we know that we could always improve on Gravit. So if you have any suggestion, if you have any feature ideas, or if you just run into something that upsets you, please post it in our Connect section and we will do our best to answer and address the issue. Now, let's get started with this webinar. Today, we'll just go over a few basic commands. And first, we want to tell you something very important to Gravit. And this is what helps Gravit stand out from the rest of the softwares that's out there. And it's the ability for you to collaborate with different team members and with your team, with your organization, or your company. And you can do that by creating something called what we call an organization. An organization is based, you could think of it as a company. And in each company, you have something called teams. So you have teams such as clients, you have design groups and development groups. And each of these teams can eventually have different permissions to view the content or to edit it. They can also leave feedback on different content. And you can create as many organizations as you like, starting today. Now, we will go into creating a simple Facebook cover for today. To do that, all you have to do is simply press on the Create New Design. It's as simple as that, and it's completely free. We don't charge any price for any of the content you see. If you want, you can even use any of the pre-made designs as you see from the marketplace. It's very easy to use. Simply hover over the item and press Use. But for this tutorial, let's just create a new one. Now, we are consistently improving our user interface, and this is the current version. We improved it quite a lot from the last version, which was a bit dark and very difficult to use. And we were only able to do that because of users like you who provided amazing feedbacks. And so, if you run into anything, please do let us know in the Connect section and we will do our best to improve it. To start, let's select our background color. You can select a background color by simply opening up the Format tab on the right side. As you notice, I also enabled the Layers tab, which opens on the left. This allows me to have more control over the canvas. Now, let's add a background to this. Let's go with something a little hot pink. Seems like a day for a little hot pink, and it seems to be Alex's favorite color. Now, that looks good. You see how easily we added that color? If you want, you could easily change it as well. Simply click, drag, or if you don't like pink or any reddish tone, you could simply slide this bar down here and you can change it to any color you like. Adjust it to your liking. For this one, let's go back to Alex's favorite color. There you go. Now, let's create a square. Adding shapes is very simple with Gravit. All you have to do is click, click again, and drag. There you go, you have your shape. If you want, there's a variety of other preset shapes we put up in Gravit. All you have to do is go next to the square shape and press on the down arrow. If you want a circle, you click on circle, triangle, polygon, and you can manipulate any shapes to your liking. We also put something called a bezigon and a pen tool. These allow you to create a custom shape so that you can trace any shape you like. For this, let's just go with a simple square shape. I have an idea of what I want to create in my mind. And for that, this shape here is too large. So let's resize it. Let's make it 450 pixels by 275 pixels. I also know that I want to align this shape in the center of the canvas. To do that, all I have to do is use one of these tools. For this, I want to vertically align it to the middle. Let's press it, and voila, it sits right in the middle. 20 pixels from the top, 20 pixels from the bottom. And I want to do the same. If I want, I could align it all the way to the left, but it makes it bleed to the left, and it's not what I want. So let's make it 20 pixels from the left. Now that looks good, but it has this black border that I don't like. If I want, I could simply go to the border, click on the color box, and change the color to anything I like. For this, I just want to hide it. It's not really necessary. There you go. We have our shape. Now let's do something. The shape is just completely boring. Let's add something to it. How about we insert a photo? To insert a photo, we partnered with many different providers. And one of our biggest provider right now is Unsplash, and we're adding more consistently. But Unsplash adds 10 new photos every 10 days. And we load them to our platform in those 10 days when they do update it. So let's select a photo. For this, let's select this. Or actually, let's go back, find something better. Let's select this photo right here. Wow, that looks great. But it's kind of not centered to the photo I want. So let's center it by selecting both the shape and the image. Let's click center and then center. As you see, because the shape of the photo, the size of the photo is larger than the shape in the background, the shape was actually moved to center based on the image. If you want, you could just play around with it yourself, or you can use a smart guide system that we have in place. The smart guide system aligns it for you, so you don't have to do much work. All you have to do is align it to the lines. Now that's great. Now let's clip it inside of the square shape we have in the background. If you want to preview your shape, just simply hide the image on the layers panel. As you see, it's perfectly where we want it. To clip it, just select both the image and the shape. If you want to go in from the layers panel, just click, hold Command or hold Shift, and then click on it again. And then if you want to clip it in, just press the clip button, and voila, it's inserted into the shape. Please note that if you want to clip an image into a shape, the image has to overlay the frame you are trying to insert it in. In this case, the image had to be over the shape to clip it in. If it's on the inside, say for example, behind the shape, and I try to clip it, it does nothing. All it does is takes this square shape I had and clips it inside of the image, and that's not what I want to do in this case. You know, design is consistently changing. If you want to do that, you can do that if you like. But in this case, I want this image to clip inside the shape. There you go. Now, while we have this image, let's manipulate it to what we want it to look like. So let's add a little bit of shadow. So let's go to Effects, press on the little plus icon, and click on Drop Shadow. As you see, it added a shadow, but it's a bit too strong for this. So let's change it a little. Let's make it 1 in the Y direction and 1 in the blur distance. And for opacity, let's make it 25%. There you go. That looks great. But if you want to change the color, say you want to make it a red shadow, you can. Simply click on the color and select the color you would like to choose. In this case, let's stick with black. It looks great. Now, let's add a few more effects to this photo. I want to add, let's say, a little bit of denoise. So I go to Effects, press on the little plus icon. Let's go to Adjust, and let's select denoise. If you want, just simply slide this slider and adjust it to your liking. But I have a specific number in mind, and that's about 40. So I could enter it myself. There you go. Now, One of the great things about any design software is the combining different items to make something look great. So in this case, I want to add an overlay image, and then I want to manipulate the one in the background just by using this overlay. To do that, I just create a square on top. And as you saw, I can easily clip it in front on top of the image that I already have. Let's get rid of this border. Not really a fan of it. And let's go to Effects, and let's click Overlay. As you see, it creates a little gradient effect on top of it, but it's a bit too strong. So if I want, I could change the opacity of this shape that I put on top of it and change it to my liking. If I want, I can also change this. Let's make it a little bit orangey because I wanted to show the sun. There you go. It looks great. As you see, it already adjusted to the 25% I wanted it to be. If I want, I could change it more here, 50. And there you go. Looks great. If you want it to blend, you can blend it. If you want, you can even choose blending options from the top over here, right below the opacity, to change it. Let's say if I want to make it an overlay effect. Wow, that's really cool. There's thousands of other combinations that you can actually do to make your image look different. We have everything ranging from some Instagram effects you see to just custom options you can combine to make it look even different. For this one, I just want to do a little screen effect. Okay? Now, let's create a little circle. As I said before, just go next to the shape, press on the down arrow, click Ellipse, and click Drag. If I just simply click and drag, as you see, I have a free-form shape. If I hold down the Shift key, I could easily keep the aspect ratio of this shape. So in this case, since I want to create a circle, it's probably best I just hold down the Shift key. Let's make this circle 100 pixels by 100 pixels. There you go. That looks good. Now, unlike before, if I want to align this to the center, it kind of moves it to the center of the canvas. But I don't want that. I want to align it based on this section right here. So to do that, all I have to do is create a new rectangle and make sure it's the same size. And since I don't really care, I'm going to delete this shape anyway. It's just serving the purpose of me aligning different items. I'll make the fill transparent. Now, select these two and let's align it to the center. There you go. And if you want, you can delete it now or you could save it for the next part, but we don't need it since we could align the rest of the content based on this shape. So let's get rid of it. Now, let's drag and drop a new photo for our needs. Since I don't have a nice photo added to the Gravit media library, I'm just going to add one myself. To do that, all you have to do is press on the media icon and click on Upload Image. Or if you're lazy like me, simply go to your desktop, drag it, and drop it, and Gravit will add the image for you. Now, as you see, this image is way too large for this shape. So I need to resize it. To do that, all I have to do is press on the Transform tool, and I'll see these little corners. Now I just click, hold down the Shift button to keep the aspect ratio, and drag. And voila, the image has been now resized. I want to clip it inside this circle I have. But since the image of the person in the photo is too much to the right, it's a bit difficult to just simply align it based on the system. So let's make it semi-transparent. Let's resize it a little more. And let's make sure it's in the perfect location of the image I want to insert. Once I have it, let's change the opacity back to 100. And let's clip it. There you go. As you see, the border is still there because the border is attached to the circle. So if I want to get rid of the border, simply hide the border. Now, I think the border is better. So let's add the border back. Let's make it 2 pixels, and let's add a bit of gradient borders to it. Now, gradient is basically a transition from one color to another, and it's a visible transition. So if you want to add different effects, say a radial gradient, you can by simply clicking on radial. For this one, we'll just keep it a linear, and we'll make it white to a very light white. And there you go. Now, as you see, the gradient effect goes from left to right. If I want, I can rotate this effect by simply pressing on this rotate icon. If you want, you can also do it by simply moving the item and dragging this little square shape. If you hold on the shift key, it allows you to do it by 45 degrees. Makes it easier on you. Now, if you want, you could add other effects to this image. For this, let's add a little bit of outer glow. And let's make it white and make it as strong as we can. So let's do that with an intensity of 2. There you go. Now that's good. I kind of like where this is going. I think you guys will too. So let's add a text now. Simply press on the text icon on the top and click on your canvas. Now, you can add any text you want. For this, let's add Danny Tanner, because John Doe is too overly used, right? So once we have the shape, let's change the color. We can make it white. I think white looks great on this pink. Let's also change the font, because it's not really, Open Sans is a bit too overused, right? So let's make it a bees. Double click on it, voila, it's changed. Now let's also do a little more customizing to this text. Let's add a little bit of character spacing. Let's say 1 pixel. No, that's not enough. Let's add more. Let's do 3. There you go. Now, since the image is a bit to the right, let's align it. Uh-oh, that moved the image. Remember, if the content you're trying to align, it will always align to the larger item. So for this one, let's just do drag. That's easy. Now, let's add another text. If you want, you could just go to click on text and then add another text, or you can easily go to edit, then duplicate. This duplicates all the effects and the content. So since we didn't add any effects, it didn't really copy anything over except the font size, the font family, the font size, and the color. So let's change the font size to say 14 pixels. And let's say Danny Tanner is a professional photographer. And there you go. That's added. But the letter spacing is a bit too much for this one. So let's lower it down. Let's make it 2 pixels. And align it. And there you go. You have that. Now, one of the most powerful tools in Gravit are some that most people don't even use. And that's items like knife, merge, and the ability to actually move content, or even just using items such as freeform drawing like a pen tool. For this one, let's take a look at merge. There's different ways to merge an item. And the way you merge is basically taking 2 shapes and combining them together, or just differentiating between those 2. So for this example, let's just create a square. And let's make it 40 pixels in height and 90 pixels wide. Let's align it to the right of the canvas by pressing the align right button right here. And there you go. Now, let's combine this with a circle. To do that, just click on the circle and let's draw it. The Smart Guide system just helped me create this so that it's the same size as my square. So once we have that, let's align this to that. And there you go. If I want, I could simply just remove the border, but let's make these 2 shapes into one single object. To do that, let's just select them both and go to merge. Now, both of these shapes are merged, but they're not merged in the way I wanted. So let's say I wanted to differentiate between these two. So let's go to merge and, oops. Don't forget to save often. Oh no, I just pressed the wrong button. All right, let's do that again. Drag. Let's click on Eclipse. And merge. Okay, so during the demo, the best time possible, I just found a bug. And it's possibly because I'm using the latest version of Chrome, or it's just something we haven't discovered yet. Well, let's leave that alone for now. Okay, so once you're done with that, you can insert, say, an icon. So go to the same way as you insert a photo, just go to Image and click on Icon and select any icon you like. For this one, let's just do a shield. Now the shield is too big, so let's resize it and click on Transform. Hold down the Shift so I could keep the aspect ratio and drag. Now, drag it. If you click outside, and just simply drag it to on the shape. There you go. It's been added. Now let's zoom out a bit and see the full product. Now that's good. If you like to download this, we put it up in the marketplace and it's available for free download. So feel free to download it anytime you want. Now let's save it. Once saved, we're good to go. If you want, you could just go to your folder and view it there. Just click on the eye and then you could see it there. If you like, you could explore more designs and comment or leave feedback for other designers, because designers love to hear feedbacks and they appreciate it too. If you have any questions now, we'll be reading all through the comments and answering as many questions as you have. Unfortunately, we did run into a bug during this demonstration, so we'll try to fix that as soon as we can. Make sure that doesn't happen again. Seems like Alex already answered a lot of the questions. Sadly, we did encounter a little issue with that. It could be that I'm running too many things, including presentation software, or just Gravit is having a bad day today. Do you guys have any other questions? Oh, we wanted to ask one thing. What are your pains and gains of using Gravit? Are you a professional software designer, or are you just an average designer who wants to try something out or learn designing perhaps? Color Levi asks, what are the future updates coming soon? We are working on several things, and one of them is a brand new text engine. We feel that the current text engine has a little bit of issues where sometimes the text does disappear and sometimes even the color effects don't work. So we're rewriting the entire text engine from ground up and you'll be completely Gravit. So it's all of our coding, and we'll test it thoroughly, make sure it's running just as smooth as possible, and then we'll release it as soon as we have it. The collaboration aspect in real time is currently in development. We're still trying to figure out the right ways to do collaboration, mostly because in design it's very difficult. You have clients who are located in a different location, or they're just they're sometimes unresponsive. Also, not everybody has the same type of devices available on them. So we're trying to combine the two things and finding the best way possible to bring collaboration to users like you. Well, it is a bit like Inkscape, but we're trying to take it beyond that. We're trying to add more features. As you may have heard, we're trying to make Gravit a bit like GitHub for designers, and that involves versioning along with the ability to work with multiple people at the same time. But that's more coming in the future, mostly because we're still researching how the best way to do it, and we want to get it right. If it's just another tool like where you have to send it to another designer or send it to a client and then they have to open it separately or they have to download something, that's not what we really want to do. We want to make it as easy as possible. So it's taking a little bit of time, but I think it'll be great. Renee, are you referring to the way that Affinity Designer does it, where you have to highlight the entire item to be selected? Ah, freehand, yes. Uh, that is one way. The only issue is sometimes you do have items that are much, much larger than the canvas. Say, for example, the image I inserted into that circle, it was originally 4,400 by 3,200. And for that, I would have to zoom out completely to select the object. So in those cases, it's a bit difficult to make it so that you have to select the entire object to be selectable. But for shapes, I think that's a possibility. We'll definitely think about that. Any more questions? All right, so let me ask you guys a question. What do you guys want to create with Gravit? Is it web design content, illustrations, business cards, logos, anything that you prefer to create with Gravit? Or is there anything in particular that led you to Gravit which you want to create? Yes, sometimes the browser does freeze. It's something we are investigating consistently to improve, and it's just going to take a little bit more time, mostly because there's so much you can do with the browser, and there's also quite a lot of restrictions. For example, the latest update of Chrome broke the ability to select and edit a color for a shape or an object. So we are consistently looking at the ways to improve it for a better browser. At the moment, Color Loving, the best browser we have used is Google Chrome. But like I said, with the latest update of Google Chrome, there's few features in Gravit that did break. Thank you, Paul. It's a long time coming for a webinar. We've been really trying to get to know the users and also give a little demo of what you can do with Gravit for a little while, and we finally got the chance to do it. Yes, Sandra, we did test it on majority of almost all of the major browsers that's out there. That includes Firefox, Safari, and IE Edge. Although Edge is more or less IE 11 in disguise, but it works in all of those major browsers. PDF is in work, Cedric. It's just we want to make sure it's the right way to do it. And also printing, there are some things going on in the background for printing. We are hoping to get it up and running soon. And one of those printing features would be web to print, where you would design something in Gravit and simply hit print, and you'll send to a printer where you pay their fees with the discount, of course, and they would deliver it to your house. We currently have ability to import EPS and SVG, but we are working on other formats. It's still in rough stages, but we'll hope to get it done soon. Sandra, we are working on a very new system for teaching users how to use Gravit. It's not ready yet, but it will be soon. Cedric, our focus is just design in general. We think that there are a lot of users who can't afford big name softwares like Sketch or Affinity, or even paying the monthly fee for Creative Cloud. And we think that Gravit is a great alternative for it. And if you're someone who's starting off, you don't really want to invest that much money into a software until you feel more comfortable. So Gravit is a great area where you can learn how to design, because our software is fairly similar to majority of the tools that's out there, but it's also a tool that you can continue to use and grow on. And we're always there to help you out when it comes to learning how to do a certain trick for designing using Gravit. And that's why we did introduce the magazine, and we're hoping to add more articles, add more tutorials, and even post more tutorials on, say, Twitter, or even just creating a video and how to create a Facebook cover, to how to create an advertisement for Facebook using Gravit. And we hope that will help out more and more users who does not have access to design softwares and are often end up pirating or getting it a different method. And we think it's a great opportunity for most users. CSS export is not on our list at the moment. We are trying to fix a lot of the bugs that's there, but we're hoping that eventually, once we have enough requests for it, we will add it. Renee, yes, we are working on an option to import custom fonts. It is a little tricky situation, mostly because a lot of the fonts are copyrighted. We don't want anybody to feel like their content is being stolen, mostly because it's shared with other users. So we're trying to find a way to best allow custom fonts. Now, another question. Are you using Gravit regularly, or is something holding you back from using it? Well, welcome aboard, Paul. If you have any questions, just ask any of the staff or post in the Connect section, and we'll be happy to help you out. We also implemented a new chat support, so you can ask your questions there. It does take a little time for us to answer because we do get quite a lot of support requests. So, but don't worry, we do get to them, and we do read every single one of the comments you do leave, and we will do our best to respond and help you out. One reason I consistently mention the Connect section is because there's also other people who can help you out, not just the staff. They are community members who just loves to help others out. So if you do ask there, we have more people answering questions. Cedric, we are working on a click web to print option for things such as t-shirts and business cards and other print related materials. So that may be another alternative for you aside from PDF export. Yes, we are working on PDF export, but that's an additional option that you would have there. And I think it's a very great way of getting your content made for a discounted price. Yes, Renee, most clients do prefer non-Google fonts, and we are working on it. It is coming. We promise it's coming. We just want to make sure it's the right way, and none of our users do get in trouble for using the fonts they do have in the library. Paul, yes, you can ask questions anytime you want. We do have Ava who does answer a lot of the questions. You can email hello@gravit.io. You can also just, like I said, post in the chat, and it does serve as, if we're not available to answer right away, it does serve as an email option. So we do get notifications of whenever someone messages us. And you can even post in the Connect section. So that's 3 options right there for you to get in touch with us. Oh, sorry, it's info@gravit.io. Sorry. Hello is something I completely forgot we removed. Color Levine, you cannot invite clients yet without having them register. It's something we are working on. Like I said, there are several things that has never been done before in a design software or a design platform. So we are playing around with different content and different ways of approaching some issues that most designers do encounter. Uh, yes, private link is coming soon, and it's almost there. It's just taking a little time. If you guys have any ideas for collaboration, if you guys have any ideas for Gravit in general, please do let us know. Our software is created for wonderful users like yourself, and we could not be at where we are right now if it wasn't for you guys. So please do let us know if you encounter any kind of issues. If you guys need to find some sort of inspiration, please do look at Discover. We have a lot of people designing some great things. We have users like Sylvia who creates content almost on a daily basis. If you want, you could even go to his profile and view the content. He's there, and he's very happy to create, make all these content he does create available in the marketplace for free. There are other users like himself that's out there that's creating content. Another one is Pablo, who's always creating great content. Um, and we have some great designers like Isabel, who's testing it out for us. And the staff themselves are also adding a lot of content to Gravit as well. If you guys want to learn how to create other different contents, say, for example, a flyer, or if you want to see something in the marketplace, please do let us know, and we'll do our best to find to create it ourselves, or find someone who is more more experienced in creating that kind of content. Yes, Cedric, we do have that one of those in works with view only mode. It would be more or less a direct link to the content, and they could view, just move around, see what they like, what they don't like, and if they want, provide a little bit of feedback on that. Paul, collaborate through Skype. Do you mind clarifying on that? We don't have any integration with Skype. I'm not sure how that would work. And since Skype is owned by Microsoft, they're a very large company, and they don't really have a great partnership program out there. But we do have Connect, and we are working on a way to communicate with your friends or with your team, and hopefully that will avoid the need for software such as Skype. If you guys are small business owners, or if you guys are business owners in general and you would like to talk to us about a possible partnership, please do get in touch with Ava. She just messaged me with it as a reminder. So get in touch with Ava, and we can discuss further of possible partnerships. If you do find a library that you think will be good suited for Gravit, you can also share that with us, and we'll take a look at it and possibly get in touch with the company behind it. There is somebody who mentioned material icons. We did get in touch with them. We did add it to our library. Similarly with Unsplash, there was a high request for it, and luckily for us, the Unsplash team was great, and we were able to add all of their photos to our library. Like I said, the ability to talk to your team members and company organization members are something that we have on our list and something we do plan on working on. It's just we want to get it right when it comes to collaboration. There's quite a lot of work to do, and we are heavily dependent on users like you to provide us feedback. So please do let us know if there is anything in particular you would like to see in collaboration, and we will get in touch with you to discuss it even further. Cedric, we are talking to a few print companies out there. We want to partner with a company that's not only just popular, because there is a lot of popular companies there, but they don't meet the quality of most users. So we are being a little picky when it comes to the correct print shop, so that we could provide you with the best service and with the best prices possible. We will look into the company you just did recommend, and we will definitely, I'm sure Ava will send them an email as soon as this is over, or possibly even put it on the list of possible partners. Paul, this is our very first session. We do plan on having a few more where we go in detail of Gravit and how to create certain content. If you have suggestions for topics, please let us know and we will try our best to cover it. I was the presenter today. Possibly in the future, we could have a different person who is more who has used Gravit from a different perspective, such as a regular user or a market user, and we could invite them to do a presentation for you. Yes, Cedric. We are working on the ability to export your design directly to Facebook. Uh, it's currently in work, and we're just kind of looking at how their API does work because you do need permissions. But we are definitely looking to that to export to Facebook and possibly even to other social media sites. Yes, Polar is now an official partner of Gravit, and it was quite a lot of work. We're trying to do more and more with the Polar team. If you want to use Polar, all you have to do is import a photo, double click it, and it loads directly into Polar, where you have access to many of their filters and photo customization ability. And they have a lot of customization tools. And it's very professional. We love their software. It's you can do quite a lot with it. Change tones. You can even use any of their presets libraries. And all you have to do to save it back to Gravit is simply press Save to Gravit, and it'll save it directly into your Gravit profile. It's very easy, and it's very powerful. And like I said, we're trying to do more and more with Gravit, which we hope to discuss in the future. And they're a great team. We couldn't be any happier with their product and our partnership. If you guys haven't used it yet, you can easily check out the marketplace content and import it to your design, or just directly open the marketplace content by going to create a new document, go to from template and selecting any kind of template you would like to import. For example, we have Pablo sharing his collection of cute animals. This is just adorable. So you can load any of this content. It's free for you to use. Eventually, we will have more premium content that will be available, but for now, everything in the marketplace is free, and you can use it to your liking. And there are many different combinations you can do with Gravit when it comes to effects, when it comes to just tricks, tips and tricks. There's lots of shortcuts. One reason we didn't discuss all of it in detail today is because what's the fun of telling somebody how to use a software when they could explore it? Exploring one of the most fun ways to design, and you learn something new every day. We created Gravit and we're still learning almost something new every single day, and it's just a great experience. Here's one thing that a lot of people don't know is that when an object does overlap your canvas, you can easily go into output view and it will show you just the content you want to see that's over your canvas. And you can still edit your images or icons, whatever you like. It's still completely editable. Just click drag and drop. Paul, our main office is in Berlin, Germany. But we do have staff members from throughout the world, which includes Singapore. We have people in New York City. We do have people starting soon, actually soon, in Australia. The best way to use Gravit, I think, is just to explore Gravit. Just play around with the different tools that's out there. And it will amaze you because it amazes us every single day. And we're the ones that's coding it. So it's something you just need to explore. If you guys have any questions or comments, you can ask us by emailing info@gravit.io. You can post in the connect section, or you could just simply click on this little question mark right down here to start a chat. And one of our staff member will definitely get in touch with you. Color Lavi, we are working on a documentation that will go in detail of the different charts that's there. We are also working on videos for the different tasks you can carry out with Gravit. That is coming soon, and we're hoping to do a simple introduction for new users, which is kind of like a achievement system, and hopefully that will come very soon as well. The documentation, like I said, there's so much you can do with Gravit, so it is taking a little time, and we are writing it all. We are taking down notes. We are creating videos for it, so it's taking a little time. Cedric, our main competitor right now, well, we don't really have a main competitor, mostly because a lot of the softwares that's out there that's on a web-based, they're very lacking in features. One of the examples you put is Vector. When we did play with Vector, we realized that they are using similar systems, which is web-based, but it's also lacking quite a lot. That's good. You could consider them a competition, but I think that Gravit can do a lot more at the moment. In that case, one of our biggest competitor would then be, say, Sketch, who's very similar to our product, but they're completely OSX based, whereas ours is completely on the web, so you can access it from anywhere at any time. And we plan on continuing being that way for as long as we can. Ah, there you go. The merger tool works. It was just a little hiccup. Thank you guys, and thank you for coming in. If you have any questions, please do email info@gravit.io or comment in the connect section, or just click on that little question marks on the bottom right side of your screen. And thank you everyone for coming. Have a good day and hope you enjoy Gravit.